Hey, it's time to make mashed potatoes. You think that might be easy to do, but I know lots of you can't make good mashed potatoes. Not that I've had them, but you've told me about that. So I have potatoes boiling. They're just basic white potatoes. The best potatoes, if you find them in the store to use for mashed potatoes, are Yukon Gold potatoes. Not to be confused with yellow potatoes. Make sure they're Yukon Gold potatoes. So let me grab the potatoes. And you know the potatoes are done is when you can take a potato, take your knife, and it easily goes into it. Especially if you're using white potatoes, not Yukon Gold potatoes. You don't want to overcook them because they'll absorb too much water, then they won't be light and fluffy. So these are cooked. Immediately we're going to strain them because we want them out of the water so they don't keep cooking. So I've made about 4 pounds of potatoes. So 4 pounds, I'm going to start with 2 cups of butter. So I have the butter in my stand mixture already, but we're not just going to put the potatoes into the stand mixture because I don't like lumpy potatoes. Some people like a few lumps, but I have an old-fashioned potato ricer. So we're going to put the potatoes in here, going to go down, smash them out through the little holes. So I would say this one was probably made maybe in the 30s, maybe the 40s, but it's like potato snow. It's just giving a nice, perfectly no lump texture to these potatoes. And the reason why we're doing the butter first, before we add any milk or cream or anything like that, is because the butter, you know, is fat. And the fat molecules to the hot potatoes is going to adhere much better than if we have a liquid. So we want to keep the butter and the milk separated at first. Almost done here. But as you can imagine, I probably, for my family for Thanksgiving, will make 10 pounds of potatoes. So good to do them maybe in 5-pound batches. The great thing about mashed potatoes is they reheat easily. So when I'm going over the river and to the woods to my sister's house, she lives just 4 miles away, but you know, I make these right before I'm going to leave for her house. They transport easily and they reheat easily, even though they're still, you know, they're warm, they're room temperature, they're more than room temperature, they're warm. But then you might want to just give them a little blast on top of a double boiler or in the good old microwave. Okay, potatoes are in there. Get our whisk attachment going. We'll start that on slow. And of course, I've boiled them in a little salted water. Not too much. Looking for that butter to get combined with the potatoes. So at this point, we're going to start adding in a little cream. So I have here 3/4 of a cup. So remember that was 4 pounds of potatoes, 2 cups of butter, 3/4 of a cup of cream. I've had this out on the stove to warm a little bit because we don't want to be adding cold to the hot. Let me just turn that down a bit. And I'm probably going to add half of it there, half a cup. So I can see, is it getting creamy enough? Because we don't want them soupy. And take the rest. Grab a spatula and scrape down those sides. And you know, as you're doing this, now you can start to feel what is that texture. It's actually pretty good. You know, there's maybe a tablespoon of cream left in there. I could add that. The water had been salted. So now would be a good chance, though, to taste these. They could use more salt. So just a little bit, sprinkle it around. At this point, if you like it, you could also add horseradish. And add the last tablespoon or so. Grab a fresh spoon. Those are perfect. Ha! Hey, that's what happens when you don't have a cameraman. So we're serving this later with pot roast that's still in the oven. Started that earlier today. The gravy is going to go on this. It's going to be delicious. Anyway, give mashed potatoes a try. Buy yourself a ricer. It makes a huge difference. See you later.